Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
I'm Robinson Miles. Now, right now, we are monitoring a story that just came into our newsroom. 39-year-old Bryant Curry has been charged with child molesting. Police say he was talking with a 13-year-old girl on Snapchat, and the two began texting. They say he ordered a Lyft to bring the girl to his home on East Gum Street.
Yeah, she says that they went straight to his bedroom and they had sex. The girl said that she told Curry her age beforehand. Police say Curry admitted that those accusations are true. Now, this is something that, like we said, just came into our newsroom and came across the jail. We'll have more tonight on 14 News.
Now, switching over to Warwick County, there was a crash involving a semi which shut down the westbound lanes of I-64 for several hours. Now, it happened just east of the I-69 interchange. Authorities say a semi crashed into an INDOT truck. Now, the truck was in the right lane with an aero board and crash cushion mounted to it, protecting area workers that were there working along that stretch.
Yeah, and troopers say no one was inside of that INDOT truck and no construction workers were hurt. Officials say the passing lane is now back open, but we know that some drivers were stuck for about 2 hours. Our producer's dad was actually stuck for 2 hours waiting on that crash to get cleared up. So we know that one of those passing lanes is now back open so folks can get towards that I-69 interchange now.
Now, to round things out here, this is a big story for Evansville drivers. We do have an update. After more than a year, all lanes of Riverside Drive are now finally back open. Last February, of course, a massive sinkhole led to a complete closure of all 4 lanes. Heavy rain was to blame and continued to cause problems as crews worked to fix everything.
Yeah, we kept monitoring this story for a while. Finally, one lane in each direction opened in November of last year while crews finished the final part of that project, which is a diversion structure that allows the high water to flow into the river. So now all of those traffic cones have been removed from the road completely. I'm excited to see right there in this spot, there used to be like a cage, basically like a big fenced-in area. They had all kinds of stuff blocked off there, and I'm excited to see that gone because that was an eyesore.
It's rare you get used to these things, too, where like it's going to take a bit of adjusting to get back to being normal again. So that's something to look forward to.
I felt bad, too, as the weather got warmer. People were like strolling and walking their dogs along the riverfront, and it's just like clanking of the cranes and, hammer and nail. It was just a lot of mess out there.
Perfect time for it.
Yep.
Perfect time. Well, that's going to round out the news portion of things here today. Of course, we do have a lot of things continuing to develop. Lots of busy photographers and reporters across the tri-state, so be sure to circle back and join us for 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and of course at 10.
All right, do not go anywhere. Our roller coaster of temperatures continues this week. We're possibly going to reach some record highs tomorrow, so we'll turn things over to meteorologist Arden Gregory right after the break.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, and this is a live look at the Twin Bridges, looking over into Henderson there. Sorry, my mic cord is hung on something. There we go. Okay. So this is a live look over into Henderson. There are some thin clouds overhead, gives the sky kind of a hazy, milky look out there, but plenty of sunshine still breaking through. It's going to stay partly sunny and just really beautiful through the rest of the day today. It gets even warmer tomorrow, though. We're talking about record-setting highs again tomorrow afternoon. Then as we get into Friday, a cold front moves in, and that comes with some big changes. Rain is likely on Friday, and it's also going to be 30 degrees colder on Friday, a huge drop from that very warm weather we're going to have on Thursday. So let's kind of walk through what this is going to look like, including our chance of any thunderstorms. Right now, we do have some thin clouds out there, but mostly sunny. You'll notice there are more clouds, thicker clouds off to the west, still in Illinois, though. We are expecting more of those to move in as we go through this afternoon and evening. So by the end of the day, it may cloud up a little more, but still just a gorgeous day out there. Some of the models are hinting at a very isolated chance of rain later this evening into the overnight hours, but I really think we're probably going to stay dry. Thursday morning, there is a very isolated chance we could see a stray shower or even a thunderstorm, but really looks like most of the action Thursday morning is going to be to our northeast. So especially places like Pike, Du Bois, Perry counties, you could maybe see a slightly better chance of rain than the rest of us, but most of us are going to stay dry. Those rain chances Thursday morning are very isolated and also very early. If we do see any rain on Thursday, it'll probably be before 8 a.m. Then most of the day is actually going to be mainly sunny, breezy with winds coming in from the southwest, and with that flow of southerly air, also very warm. As I mentioned before, we are expecting record-setting highs on Thursday, climbing into those mid-80s. Now, overnight Thursday night, a cold front's going to pass through the tri-state. Look very carefully at these wind arrows here. You see that warm air coming in from the southwest, and then we've got this sharp changeover to cold air coming in from the north. Right there where that change happens, that's your cold front. So the cold front's going to move through overnight Thursday night. By Friday morning, cooler, drier, more stable air will already be filtering into the tri-state. Then lagging behind that cold front will be this kind of broad line of showers and thunderstorms that start to come down from the north. So early Friday morning, probably about 5 a.m. or so, that rain starts to move into the northern end of the tri-state. And then it just spreads south as we go through Friday morning. So a good chance of scattered showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder Friday. That chance of rain sticks with us up through about midday on Friday. So sometime Friday morning up through the lunch hour, most of us will probably get at least some rain, maybe even a pocket of heavy rain or a rumble of thunder. Then that rain tapers off to the south-southeast as we go through Friday afternoon, and by Friday evening, we should all be dry. As for our thunderstorm chances, they're fairly slim. For overnight tonight into Thursday morning, again, most of the action's going to be to our northeast, so maybe just a general run-of-the-mill thunderstorm in the northeast corner, but most of us will see a stray shower at best. As we look into Thursday then, you will notice some changes have been made to this map. If you were watching yesterday, you know that this level 1 risk was pulled all the way down into western Kentucky. And we had talked then about how I really felt like we were over outlooked, that the Storm Prediction Center was being maybe overly cautious with their drawing of that map to try and include anyone and everyone that had any kind of inkling of a chance of seeing some thunderstorms in that severe weather risk. And it seems that they may be kind of getting more on board with that idea now, as earlier this afternoon they updated their map and they lifted that level 1 risk to the far northern edge of the tri-state. So with that, they've also then upgraded areas to our north. So they seem to really be zeroing in on where there could be a risk of severe weather, and that is focused in northern Illinois and northern Indiana there, where you've got this bright orange color showing up there. That's where the thunderstorms are really going to develop Thursday afternoon and evening. That's where they have the best shot at severe storms. Then as we go through Thursday night, and that line of showers and storms starts to work its way south, it weakens as it moves south. And by the time it gets to us early Friday morning, it really looks like this is mainly just going to be rain for us with maybe a few rumbles of thunder. So again, we've been holding off on any kind of first alert weather day because we just were not convinced there was any kind of real risk of severe weather. And again, we're sticking to our guns on this one, that it still seems any chance of severe weather is going to be north of the tri-state. And for us, this is going to be rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and really the main impact is going to be this dramatic drop in our temperatures as we go from Thursday to Friday. So with that, let's talk temperatures because it feels incredible out there today. We're sitting in the low to mid 70s right now at 72 in Evansville, Newburgh, and Owensboro, but Madisonville all the way up to 76. And I do think we'll tack on a couple more degrees this afternoon. This time of year, we typically don't hit our high temperature till closer to 4 or 5 p.m. We do have winds coming in from the southwest. We talked yesterday about that shifting wind direction, right? We had cold air flowing in from the north, then it shifted around to the east, and now it's made its way all the way around to the south now. So it is a little bit breezy, but that wind is what is pulling that warm air from the south up into the tri-state and pushing our temperatures into the 70s. Overnight tonight, we are still going to have that southerly breeze keeping us on the warmer side. So tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a stray shower or storm late tonight into early Thursday, but again, I think most of us are going to stay dry. It will be very mild tonight with lows only dipping into the low 60s. That's about where our normal highs are this time of year, and instead that's going to be tonight's low. Then tomorrow, after starting the day already in the lower 60s, it's all up from there. It is going to be breezy with winds from the southwest consistently at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. We could have gusts closer to 25 to 30 miles an hour. With that wind plus mostly sunny skies, our temperatures are going to get pushed into the mid 80s tomorrow afternoon. The current record is 81, and we actually set that record just 6 years ago in 2020. So we are going to surpass that with temperatures climbing into the mid 80s tomorrow afternoon. But then that cold front moves through overnight Thursday night. With that, we then see that rain trailing behind it on Friday. Showers are likely, maybe a few rumbles of thunder Friday morning up through about midday. But you'll notice the temperature drop about 30 degrees. We go from mid 80s on Thursday to just the mid 50s on Friday. Dramatically different there. Sunny, warm, and then Friday, dreary, mostly cloudy, scattered rain, 30 degrees cooler. So a sharp contrast there. But again, we're not anticipating severe weather at this time. That cool air really settles in then Friday into Saturday. Friday evening, the skies will clear. By Saturday morning, I do think we'll have blue skies and sunshine, lots of sun all day Saturday, but it will be on the cooler side. Saturday morning will be freezing, literally. We're going to start the day around the freezing point of 32, and then we'll only climb into the mid-50s Saturday afternoon. Then Saturday night into Sunday, our wind direction changes yet again, and as we all know, that is what drives our temperatures. So as that wind direction changes, warmer air starts to flow in from the south and our temperatures start to climb again. Sunday, a beautiful spring day with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Then we're back into the 70s by Monday, and middle of next week, we're looking at highs in the upper 70s or even lower 80s. Checking in on the comments here. Good afternoon, Jeanette, Zach, Jeff, Laura, thank you guys for tuning in and commenting as always. Please let me know if you have any questions. I do want to take a quick look at the recap of this month so far because it has been a wild ride. I mean, we have had days where our highs only reached 32, but we've had more days where we've climbed all the way into the 80s. We've had, I believe, 2 days so far this month where we've had record-setting highs. We're expecting our third record to fall tomorrow. Sunday was actually not just a daily record, but a record for the whole month. 88 is the warmest temperature ever recorded in Evansville during the month of March. But then, as has been our trend, we see this huge warm-up, then a cold front moves in and we see this big cool down again. And that's what we've got in the forecast as we go through the end of this week as well. It did start out very rainy. We had a very wet first week of March, but since then it's really dried out for the most part. So we had so much rain at the beginning of the month that we are still running a surplus of about an inch, but we're a couple inches short on the year. Part of that is because February was so dry, 5th driest February on record in Evansville. Our average temperature, even though we have had some chilly days out there, overall it's been a very warm March, and our average temperature is 8 degrees higher than you would typically expect for the month of March here in the tri-state. And That dry, warm weather means everything's blooming and that pollen is floating around in the air. The pollen count running high through the rest of this week. That rain on Friday may wet things down a little bit, knock some of the pollen out of the air, kind of wash things away some for Saturday, but still, I mean, it's just that season where everything is blooming, and we're going to be dealing with moderate to high pollen counts for the next little bit. Looking at the 7-day forecast, here's another visual of that kind of roller coaster ride our temperatures are on again, climbing all the way into the mid-80s tomorrow, crashing down into the mid-50s then Friday, Saturday. Then we gradually start to warm back up, 60s, 70s, and up near 80 by the middle of next week. For those of you curious about the extended outlook then, because this is Palm Sunday, so as we get into next weekend, that is Easter weekend, and the extended outlook does show a trend favoring above average temperatures as we go through Easter weekend there, but it's also showing a trend toward above average precipitation. In fact, we are outlooked for the potential for some heavy precipitation with some gusty winds then off to our west. So that's something we'll be monitoring very closely. I know there are a lot of outdoor plans hinging on next weekend's forecast, and we can't give you any details just yet. It's too early for that, but just know, looking at the general trends, it seems like our temperatures won't be too bad, but we may have some muddy Easter egg hunts this year, as it does seem like we may have some rain in the forecast as we head toward Easter weekend. But like I said, that's a week and a half away, so exact details and timing and things like that, it's too early to tell, but just wanted to give you that heads up. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions in the comments, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, we've got another one of those roller coaster temperature rides. Tomorrow is going to be very warm, sunny, breezy. Then we've got that crash down Friday, 30 degrees cooler, rain is likely, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but it really looks like any chance of severe weather is probably going to stay to our north this time around, staying chilly into Saturday, then gradually warming up as we head into next week. All right. Michael Fecka will have your forecast on 14 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and he'll do another streaming show here tonight at 9. So I hope you'll join him for that then. Have a great rest of your day.